Hi everyone, I hope you guys all had a great February break. As we lead up to Easter, we're going to begin a 5-part unit that explores what Jesus was doing during the last week of his life. This week we're going to be talking about Jesus' arrival in Jerusalem, which is normally something we study around Palm Sunday, the week before Easter. Usually at church in years past, we would have celebrated with a palm parade during the worship service. So if you've heard this story before, and I know a lot of you have, try to look at it from a new angle. Pay attention to anything new that might stand out to you. Think of, imagine the sights, the sounds, the smells. If you've ever entered a new place, like a new city, or maybe someplace on vacation, think of how exciting and interesting it was for you, and imagine how Jesus must have felt upon entering this place. Today, our text is Jesus visits Jerusalem, and it's based on Luke 19:29 through 40. Picture. Okay. What kind of trips do you like to take with your family or friends? Have you gone on trips in your city or town or farther away? Did you go on a plane or a train, in a bus, or by car? Jesus traveled to cities and small towns to teach the people about God's love. One of the most important trips he took was to Jerusalem, the special holy city. While he was there, Jesus gave 2 of the disciples a special task. He said to them, "Go into the village. There you will find a young donkey that no one has ever ridden. Untie it and bring it to me. I want to ride it into Jerusalem." The disciples were surprised Jesus wanted a donkey to ride because he always walked everywhere he went. But they loved Jesus and knew he was an important teacher, so they did what he asked. Jesus told them that if anyone asked why they were taking the donkey, they should tell them that he needed it. They went into the village and found the donkey just like Jesus had told them. They brought the donkey back to Jesus. The disciples laid cloths on its back so that Jesus could ride it. Now Jesus was ready to ride into Jerusalem. The people following him began to cheer. Crowds lined the streets. Some people joined the disciples and spread their cloaks on the road to welcome Jesus. Others wondered why everyone was so excited about a man entering the city on a donkey. Powerful rulers rode big war horses, not donkeys. The disciples praised Jesus, singing and shouting for joy because of God's love for them. The people welcomed Jesus with blessings, saying, "Peace." The people who knew Jesus and his teachings about love and peace were excited that he was in Jerusalem. They expected great things from this teacher from Galilee. Some teachers of the law, called the Pharisees, were in the crowd. They did not like Jesus being praised so much when he was not a king. They also worried that Jesus would upset the Roman officials. They thought he didn't deserve all the celebration because he was only a teacher riding a donkey. They said to Jesus, "Teacher Jesus, tell your disciples to stop praising you like a king. It's not the right thing to do because you're not our king." Jesus told them, "I tell you the truth. If they were silent and did not sing praises, the very stones on this earth beneath us would shout out." Okay, so think about that last part about the stones. We're going to go outside for a minute, and I'll be back with you. I'm out in our yard in what we call the rock garden. The rock garden is a place where we put all of the wonderful, lovely stones that the kids bring home from school, from the park, from the side of the road, from camp. These stones are so wonderful, in fact, that we've created this special place for them outdoors, I've shoveled a little bit of it out. There's stones all underneath here, though. And we can come here anytime we want and admire them. In today's reading, Jesus said, "I tell you the truth. If you were silent and did not sing praises, the very stones on this earth beneath us would shout out." What do you think this means? I gave it some thought, and what I think Jesus is saying is that if the people didn't celebrate, it was going to happen anyway. It was inevitable. Something wonderful was happening, and even the earth was rejoicing. The joy was ready to spill over, and the people were going to praise Jesus no matter what. Here in our rock garden, I wrote some words of praise on some of our rocks. Like this one says, "Rejoice." It's a little bit hard to see. To me, this might be what the stones would say, or what I would say if I were celebrating Jesus' arrival in my town. If you feel so inclined, you might want to create some celebratory stones of your own with different art supplies that you have at home, like markers or paint. Just ask your parents first, okay? Now, let's go back inside where it's warm. So in Jerusalem, we had this scene of jubilation. The crowd was going wild. Do you think they made Jesus feel welcome? I mean, the people of Jerusalem basically treated him the same way that they would treat a king. It was a big deal, and I'm guessing he felt pretty special. Think of times when you've been welcomed or when you've had the opportunity to welcome someone else. How did that make you feel? And how can we as people be more welcoming at school, at church, and in our communities? At school right now, many of you are starting to see new or unfamiliar faces with the return to more in-person learning, and I know a lot of us are still learning remotely as well. But soon enough, we're all going to be back together. I've talked about this with my own kids, and I think it's important for us to remember that we should all be welcoming and kind to the new faces, or to the faces of the kids we haven't seen for a while. If you've made new friends this year, try introducing them to your old friends when you see them again. Do your very best to make everyone feel welcome. Try and think about how others might feel and just be kind to each other. Our running theme for this year is Be the Light, and you can be a light to others by remembering to be kind, putting yourselves in the shoes of others, and thinking about how your actions impact other people. Help them to feel as welcomed as the people of Jerusalem made Jesus feel. So now we'll close in prayer. Dear God, help us follow where you lead every day and in every way. Amen. Have a great week. Bye.